Can you use the DJI RC controller along with the Integra Goggles to control the DJI Mini Pro 3? Well, it turns out you can, with a little bit of a workaround. Let me show you how to do this. Thanks to various firmware updates, DJI has added more controllers that can be used with the Mini Pro 4 as well as the Mini Pro 3. Both of these mini drones can now be used with the Motion controllers and the goggles, the same setup as the Avata and the Avata 2. First, let's talk about the Mini Pro 4 for a moment. These are the DJI Goggles 3. And this is the DJI Motion 3 controller. And of course this is the RC2 controller that came with my Mini Pro 4. And this is the Mini Pro 4. Here's the Mini Pro 4 being used with the Motion 3 controller and the Goggles 3. But, even better, the DJI Mini Pro 4 can be used with the Goggles 3 and the RC2 controller. You can see this in action right here. And it's fully supported. This is what it shows on the screen of the RC2 controller when you do this. It reads, "Goggles in use. Watch live view on goggles. Current controller can be used to control aircraft." If you already have an Avata 2, this is great, since you'll already have these goggles. You just have to select the Mini Pro 4 in the settings menu in the goggles after pairing them. This, in my opinion, is the best of both worlds, especially on those bright sunny days, which as you can see definitely wasn't today, where the RC2 controller screen can be a little bit hard to see in the bright sunlight. You get the immersive experience of seeing the drone's point of view right through the goggles while controlling it as normal with the RC2 controller. But let's talk about the Mini Pro 3. That's what this video is all about. This is the DJI Motion 2 controller. And these are the DJI Goggles Integra. And this is the DJI RC controller. And of course, this is a Mini Pro 3. And here we have the Mini Pro 3 being used with the Goggles Integra and the Motion 2 controller. Again, this is supported thanks to firmware updates. But you run into a snag when you try and use the goggles with the RC controller with the Mini Pro 3. Here's what you see on the screen of the RC controller when you try this. It reads, "Goggles in use. Current remote controller not supported. Continued use may result in flight safety risk. Connect and use Motion controller to control aircraft." And here's what happens when you try to take off. In other words, nothing. You can't. But you can make this work. Here's what you do. Now, this assumes you've already paired your Mini Pro 3 with the Integra Goggles. And in the goggles settings, you've selected a Mini Pro 3 for the drone. What you do is you make sure that the goggles are turned off. Then you power up the drone, and then the RC controller as normal. Then, with the goggles off, so the drone and the other controller can't even see them, then you take off as normal. Now, while the drone is hovering, you turn on the Integra goggles and wait for them to boot up as normal. You'll once again get the message on the screen of the RC controller that this configuration isn't supported. However, despite this, you can now control the drone with your controller while seeing the camera output through the goggles, giving you the same advantage as with the goggles and RC2 controller used with the Mini Pro 4. Now, this clearly isn't supported, so if anything bad happens and you crash or lose your drone, I suspect you're on your own, and DJI isn't going to honor any warranty or DJI care you may have. And I'm not suggesting or endorsing this, just showing you that it can be done. If you have a set of compatible goggles, This may add some options for you that you didn't realize that you had. If you liked this video or found it helpful, hit those subscribe, like, and notify buttons, and by all means, let me know your thoughts in the comments. Thanks very much for watching. See you next time.